Raul Castro did not come out and personally greet President Obama as he came down from the plane. And this is something that he's done for other leaders, including Hugo Chavez.
Right, Chavez, much lesser leaders. It was a complete slap in the face and a statement of, you're coming to me, you, President Obama, are coming to me, and we are the host, we are more important, and Cuba is getting the upper hand, which is a complete joke, right? And President Obama's State Department had to make sure that this would not go down that way. When Nixon went to China, that's not how it happened.
But
he was greeted
it did
formally.
go down that way.
It did, and it's sad. And it's just 7 years in, President Obama still does not have his hands around what diplomacy means, and that the ceremony does mean something, that it is important. So that was sad to see. And overall, this is the last year in office kind of thing. So he's having fun. Him and the First Lady are in Cuba. But they're forgetting what this means for the people of Cuba. As on the previous program we just heard, Americans could travel there, but Cubans cannot travel to America. What did Cuba and Cubans get in that deal?
Well, and you think about what it represents to all the people that escaped that regime and came here to this country. The reality is that regime is still a very tough regime to live under and is not tolerant of a lot of differences, whether that be in the media, whether that be of any other political party. So, Leslie, when you look at this and you say, okay, all right, this is good, right? We want to be friends with our neighbors. There's some downside in this, too. How do you come out on President Obama's side saying that this is actually a good thing, knowing that there are tremendous challenges ahead still for that country and thus our relationship with them?
I lived several years in Miami, Florida, and I know a lot of people that escaped and their families who escaped Cuba under Fidel Castro's regime. First of all, Raul is not Fidel, and I do believe when Fidel Castro finally succumbs to death at some point, that will change going forward, first of all. Secondly, this is the very early stages of this relationship, and I do believe it will be mutually beneficial. But if we just look at how beneficial it can be to the United States, this is an area that we have not been able to, for 5 decades, tap into with regard to trade, any kind of business. And right now, the United States continues to experience a deficit in the import and export area. And we need to change that. And Cuba actually could be a game changer going forward.
I certainly have heard that argument.
Regardless of them not being able to fly
A lot of people are saying, you know, look, the telecom industry is going to have a field day there. The hospitality industry is going to have a field day there. Boris, what could it represent economically? And is that really what it took to get through all this?
We could do well there economically, but we could do well in Nicaragua, we could do well in Argentina, we could do well in Brazil. There's plenty of countries that we could do well in. Doesn't matter. It doesn't mean we have to engage if we disagree politically on some key issues.
Hold on one moment, Boris.